evening, Vineland High School football fans. Welcome into another Friday night of Vineland High School Fighting Clan football here from Clearview High School in Mullica Hill. Kyle Bennett, Rich Scarpa up in the booth on the broadcast for you tonight. And Rich, we're coming off a win against Bridgeton last week. Let's see if Vineland can build some momentum heading into this matchup with Clearview.
Yeah, looking for the second week in a row now to avenge a defeat from last year. The Bridgeton game was probably the low point of the season last year, and as we said, a 48-point turnaround. And here it was basically an upset with Clearview. You thought it'd be an even game, a little edge to us. So Vineland has it lined up, but it's not going to be easy. I was here in enough time, but I'm usually like an hour early, but I had to park about a mile away. They're honoring all their youth programs, football programs, and cheerleading. It is a packed house here on the Clearview side and pretty rambunctious, just like when we hit the road. We see this a lot, and we run into some really great atmospheres.
We did walk those miles. We closed our rings, if you will. And Vineland, the one and only game this year, Rich, that they'll play on an actual grass surface as opposed to that turf that they are accustomed to at Gatone Stadium. Unfortunately, the weather kind of prevented them from being able to practice and get adjusted to that. But I liked what Coach Russo said this week on the Dan Russo Show, which you can watch and listen to via Underground Sports Philadelphia on YouTube or your podcast app of choice. He said practicing at night kind of got them more accustomed to what they're trying to do, because all of their games, for the most part, outside of homecoming, are going to be at night, and it gives them a chance to get adjusted to all the lights and everything. And I love that answer from him, because that's something you kind of use as an oversight. You don't really think about that as a casual fan.
Yeah, and to have the ability for different sites, even though the rain kept it where we weren't able to be on the regular field. But this field has produced some great results for Vineland. The last two times here, we go back to 2017 with a 55-21 win, and that wasn't even the big one. The big one was 2016, and we were talking before we got on air. I remember Vineland starting out 2-0, coming to Clearview, and that was when Coach Russo's squad was just making the step up in class. And it's like, oh, well, wait till they get to Clearview. And that 62 was incredible, and it was just the coming of age. The program was built, and now it was ready to start winning, and then we started getting playoff wins. So it was a big moment in the tenure of Coach Russo, the way this team performed here. And now being back out here, this matchup tonight, I guess, would be pretty even. I'd look at Clearview, two real strong tackles that look great on film. Sadly, their roster doesn't contain size, but wasn't quite sure if they were going to be big enough to hold up.
We are going to get set here for the national anthem, but when we come back, we'll have more on this pregame matchup. And, Rich, one great thing about this Vineland team so far this season is the defense has produced. Under Coach Hendricks, first-year defensive coordinator for the Fighting Clan, 2 straight games now, pitching a shutout. And last week they got back one of the biggest pieces on Coach Hendricks' chessboard, if you will, in Derek Akami. And his force was felt across the entire game out there on defense. And he was really something that helped make that defense tick, led to, that defensive touchdown, and it really opened up things for Tayshawn Newman to really be able to kind of be just a roving piece for Coach Hendricks.
Yeah, and as I always mention, those two positions are the toughest, the two guys on the outside up front on the line, and having somebody that's done it before can make or break you. and even somebody stepping in with a good performance. There's so much to learn and so much to be responsible for. But Vineland's defense, they're getting to the ball. When I was looking at stats, of course, it's Newman with 14 tackles, 5 for loss, and 2 sacks. But then we have Serrano, Powell, Cruz, Clark with 9 tackles, DeVellis and Chandler with 8. So it's a bunch of people all around the football. And this one here is going to get started a little early.
As Vineland will kick this one away to Clearview, so Vineland will receive the second half kickoff as Colin Greif, who made his Dan Russo Show debut this week, will send it out to the Pioneers. Vineland in their white tops, black pants, gray helmets. Clearview in their green tops, yellow pants, white helmets. And Greif kicks this one away, and we are all set for game action here from Mullica Hill, New Jersey, as the Pioneers start to run this one back, taking it up just across the 40-yard line. Or, I'm sorry, the 35. Josian Serrano made the initial stop there, and Clearview will set up shop at about the 35-yard line.
Some confidence getting back into that the special teams that did so well last week, getting a deep kickoff down to the 15. So not outstanding field position for the start, if not for a decent run. So at the 35.
So we will see Vineland's defense for the first time tonight as they look to continue this shutout streak that they have done so well with in these first 2 matchups of the 2022 season. Clearview lining up under center, man in motion, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to pass. It is picked off by Xavier Diaz, who's taking it back. He's got one man to beat, makes a cut upfield. He's past the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Xavier Diaz. What a brilliant return by number 7 for the Fighting Clan defense. And what a momentum starter for Vineland in this game as they take an early 6-0 lead on the opening possession here against the Pioneers.
Well, just when we're getting ready to talk about the Pioneers' wing T offense, which a lot of us are familiar with in the old Cape and everybody running it, they do throw the ball a little bit more and just too much air under that ball. The receiver was open early, but when you're coming out of that wing, you have to roll to outside to the tackle, and then you float one up there, and it's going to get picked when you have that deep safety there. Outstanding job as we get ready for the extra point.
Fantastic vision there by Xavier Diaz, and we'll talk more about the interception after Colin Greif hopefully puts this one through the uprights. Low snap, Greif through the upright. No good. It goes just right. So that low snap, unfortunately, leads to the missed extra point, but Vineland nonetheless takes a 6-0 lead here at Clearview. And Xavier Diaz was one of those, in that bunch of freshmen last year, Rich, that came up from that freshman team, kind of injected some life into this Vineland, offense and defense when Xavier was out there playing some wide receiver as well. And he's taken on some new roles. He's out there playing a little bit of corner, a little bit of safety, gets his first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, just a great way to start. We are 24 seconds into this ball game, and the defense has played one play. So, again, as we basically restart, we've got 6 up on the board. This Clearview team has had their ups and downs. Last week with Atlantic City, it's a 35-17 loss, but they score first. It's a one-score game into the third, and then the wheels just fell off, and they weren't able to really stop Atlantic City. But we're going to see guards pulling all over on this offense. It's up to linebackers to make the right reads. Linemen, don't give your guy a free release if he's pulling, getting his hip pocket. So you need to play a disciplined defense.
As Colin Greif kicks this one away, a bit of a squib kick here, as Clearview will take this up past the 35 to about the 39, and looks like Clearview will hold on to it as number 30 for the Pioneers fell on the loose ball there. We'll see if Clearview gets an opportunity here to showcase their offense a little bit, or if Vineland can continue to just show dominant defensive performances. Number 30 for Clearview, O'Brien Brown.
That was DJ Clark ripping that one out. Almost got Vineland another turnover just that quick.
This one's handed off to the running back. That is O'Brien Brown. Big burst of speed there from the running back. Junior listed at 5'7", 170 pounds. Clearview has their first positive offensive play of this game now. Quarterback for Clearview is sophomore Tyler Dell, wearing number 2, as he lines up under center again. Dell takes the snap. He hands it off.
And that's where we get talking about that discipline there. You know, what Vineland's going to need to do defensively is reestablish that line of scrimmage, especially up at the nose. If you can get that center to take a step back, it blocks all the pulling lanes, and then the timing gets thrown off. Atlantic City was able to do that, and I'd watch a guard pull in the back, beat him to the spot, so it really wasn't helping much. But if you don't get a push up front.
That was A.J. Salerno on the previous carry for Clearview as they hand this one off. Once again, Clearview trying to establish that run. Sean Ralph Jr., another sophomore running back for the Pioneers on the carry there. A trio of sophomore running backs. Clearview picks up the first down on that carry. So now we've seen 3 guys carry the ball here, Rich, for the Pioneers. O'Brien Brown, the junior, I stand corrected there, had that first carry. A.J. Salerno on the second. And now Sean Ralph Jr. on that third carry as Clearview takes the snap, hands it off. That's O'Brien Brown.
There's a late flag on Vineland.
That's going to be on Manny DeVellis.
DeVellis squeezed down to make a play, but just need a little bit more support up on the inside. And Dell, we haven't seen him run yet, but coming into this game, leading the team in rushing, not with a whole heck of a lot of yards, but also 10 for 16 passing.
Dead ball personal foul on Vineland.
Yeah, DeVellis got in there as soon as the whistle was blown dead, gave a little extra push there. Got to be disciplined on this defense if they want to execute the way that Coach Hendricks expects them to. You can't give up free yards.
You know, we had one of those last week with Bridgeton after it would have been a change of possession.
So Clearview sets up shop here, takes the snap, and is met immediately by the Ox, Derek Akami. A.J. Salerno was the ball carrier there, but Derek Akami's presence last week was felt across the board on this defense. Every player said in the locker room Derek's energy was felt. He was excited to be back out on the field for his senior season, and it's just continuing to show how big of a force and how big of a leader he is for this Vineland Fighting Clan.
Yeah, especially if you get the player back on the field, but then you get the emotion back on the field.
So Dell lines up under center. He takes the snap. He hands it off to O'Brien Brown, who cuts through, and he's taken down. He gets inside the 10-yard line. I believe Tank Powell made the tackle there for Vineland.
Looked like a gain of about 6. Well, there
We
is
do
a
have
flag in the backfield. I didn't see that one.
Penalty is on Clearview, so that'll push them back.
So second and about 15.
Second down, 15.
It's weird when you compare all the spread stuff to this wing tee. It almost looks like triple option because you always have your fullback going on either side on the A gaps. And
So Dell takes the snap. He's going to carry it himself, makes a man miss, and he takes that inside the 15. Ball was loose, but they're going to call that down by contact. So the first carry there for Tyler Dell, the quarterback for the Pioneers. And this is kind of unfamiliar territory, Rich, for Vineland's defense this season. They've really kept their opponents out of the red zone area. So we'll see how Coach Hendricks and company have been able to, kind of game plan for situations like this, knowing that you're not going to be able to keep opponents out of the red zone forever this year.
And probably the first time somebody's driven up the field. There's been a big play to get people there, but to drive straight up like this, big third down here.
Dell under center. He takes the snap. He hands it off. And the ball is loose. And it is picked up by Vineland.
Oh, no way. Not even close to down. He was moving forward.
That's a bad call there.
Yeah, he was still up, stretching the ball out.
Knees were not down whatsoever. Sean Ralph Jr. catches a massive break. And the Pioneers are on the doorstep here now.
Boy, that's unfortunate. I mean, I'm wondering if he's going to stretch out and get over the goal line. I mean, totally still running, and that's a bad one.
Dell lines up in shotgun now. Moves a man in motion, takes the snap. He's going to take it himself up the gut, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown Pioneers. And just like that, Vineland's shutout streak comes to an end.
On a very convincing drive, a lot of plays, a lot of positive yards. But see, one thing with the wing T, there's not a ton of opportunity for really big plays, especially in the running. So when you do make a play like Akami made to set up a 2nd and 10, it kind of puts you behind the down and distance a little bit. So this offense is going to need 3 or 4 yards every time they do something to stay right where they need to be.
And the extra point is good for the Pioneers, so it's 7:16 remaining here in the opening quarter. Clearview leads Vineland 7-6 on the touchdown by Tyler Dell.
Well, a lot of action early on here. You know, we have not seen Vineland's offense yet. Yeah, one of those tackles that we're wondering about their size, 6'5", 285. That's Nicholas Oliveira, number 65. And I think Coach was mentioning on your show the battle between DeVellis and him was going to be massive.
Yeah, the tackle for Clearview has an offer already, and I believe already committed to the University of Cincinnati. So it's going to be an opportunity for Manny to go out there and, prove his worth on film to scouts for himself to, go get that offer like he rightfully deserves.
Yeah, because he's going to be watched. His opponent's going to be watched. It's a great way. That happened a lot when people come to watch Isaiah, or even when we were playing other teams. They'd be there to watch this D lineman, and you get your guys on film. Let's see if Clearview is going to kick it deep.
And the Pioneers kind of squib, almost onside kick this one, but Vineland right there to make the recovery. That is number 20, Bryce Wilson. He was another one of those freshmen that got called up last year. Looking to make an impact on the defense this year for Vineland.
So for Vineland's offense, Russo 14 for 33, 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rushing the ball, Vineland's averaging 3.2, led by Russo with 102 yards, and then Clark in his one game with 57. Hitchens and Powell are your wide receivers that lead out for Vineland.
Powell moves a bit in motion there for Russo. He takes the snap. He's looking to pass. He's firing to Tank Powell, who catches it in stride, but it falls incomplete as the ball's knocked loose. Big hit on Tank Powell. Didn't have full control of it when he made the catch.
No, timed perfectly by the defenses. Everything's set up nice, but you take your first step and you're into clothesline area contact. Totally clean play, but you get hit up high like that.
Good to see Tank just pop right back up, though, and that just shows his grit and his toughness. It'll be 2nd and 10 here for Vineland. Going with that trips bunch to the bottom of your screen.
Well, this was a weakness for Clearview, their pass defense. Looks like Vineland's going to try it again.
DJ Clark, the man in motion. Russo's going to carry it himself, but he's gobbled up by the Pioneer defense.
Well, the individual battle won that time by Clearview at the point of attack.
So it'll be third down here for Vineland's offense as they try to spark something and answer back to the Pioneers, who had a very convincing drive on their first offensive possession to put up 7 points and take an early 7-6 lead here. Vineland's touchdown coming on Clearview's first play of the game, an interception return for a touchdown by Xavier Diaz. Charles Clark spreads out wide. 5 wide receiver set here for the Fighting Clan. Russo takes the snap. He's looking to pass. He's scrambling, trying to make something happen. He fires. It's complete, but we have a flag. Pass completed to James Hitchens Jr. We'll see what the flag is.
They're going to get Vineland on a push-off. I wasn't watching the end of the route by Hitchens. I believe that's an eligible receipt. Oh. There we go. Thought he was signaling the ineligible man downfield. Well, Russo does a nice job to get outside the pocket, picks up the block from Bennett to keep the play alive. And wisely coming back to the ball as Hitches. There's a lot of decisions to be made, and Vineland made 3 altogether on that play.
Charles Clark in the backfield there, right beside Danny Russo. Russo takes the snap, hands it off to Clark. He's trying to bounce around and make something happen, but he's gobbled up by number 65, Nicholas Oliveria, the senior, 6'5", 285-pound defensive tackle.
Well, Clark used everything he could just to get back in there. At the end of it, Russo giving him a push, but they whistled it down. Again, there's those big matchups on the outside with our tackles. For Vineland today, left tackles, DeVellis, 56, 6'5", 215, and on the right side, it's Jordan Bennett, 73, 6'2", 290.
They gave Clark a yard on that last carry, so it's 2nd and 9 here for Vineland as Russo takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He carries it up the gut himself and has plenty of room to run. What a burst of energy and speed from Danny Russo to carry that up a little bit past the 20-yard line. Caught Clearview's defense sleeping.
Well, Vineland's spreading them out, but Clearview's still keeping the 4 down linemen, which we usually see only 3. And that's just some excellent interior blocking to let Russo get up the field. 54, Gavin Gallo, your center at 6', 195. Left guard, Patrick Gilbert, 6'2", 300. He's a junior. And then Julio Garcia, 55 at 6'1", 200 as your right guard. Did an outstanding job that time.
Russo spreads them out again. 5 wide receivers for the Fighting Clan as he's looking to fire pass deep to James Hitchens Jr. into the end zone for a touchdown. Russo to Hitchens for the 2nd time this season, and the Fighting Clan take the lead right back from the Pioneers. It's 12-7 Vineland.
Boy, right in stride. Russo looks really sharp tonight. The ball's been on the money everywhere he's going with it. That line, you know, we talked about the couple plays they didn't hold up and the guy makes a tackle at the line of scrimmage or a gain of 1, but they're keeping that D-line out these last 3 pass plays.
Vineland's offensive line has done a great job blocking for Dan, giving him time to, make decisions as we await Colin Greif's extra point attempt here. The kick is up, and this one is good. So with 4:33 remaining here in the opening quarter, Vineland leads Clearview 13-7, courtesy of a Dan Russo to James Hitchens Jr. touchdown pass. Perfect time here, Rich, I think, to get a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
The Red and Gray Gridiron Club would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of the Vineland High School football team. Ducharmes, the Greenview Inn at Eastland Golf Course, Reconstructive Orthopedics, Newfield National Bank, Van Dodge, Allen Associates, Technid Consulting, Medio Law Firm, Barufi Brothers, G&S Dry Cleaning, Vineland Education Association, Dr. Michael Gorson General and Cosmetic Dentistry,
go view.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, Danny Russo just threw a beautiful touchdown pass to James Hitchens Jr. to give Vineland 7 lead here in the first quarter as Colin Greif sends this one, and it's a live ball, but Clearview falls on it right off the face mask of a potential returner there on the Clearview special teams unit. But Rich, what a fantastic drive there for Vineland. You know, they overcome a little adversity there, trying to get their feet wet a little bit against this Clearview defense. And Danny Russo just doing what Danny Russo does. When you give him time to pass, he's going to find his receivers.
Yeah, and that starts on that big third down with Hitchens coming back in after Russo rolled out to make a big third down completion to keep that drive going. So let's see if Vineland's defense has seen a little bit of what's going on in front of them, see if they can slow down this offense.
Vineland's defense also has a touchdown tonight, courtesy of Xavier Diaz. They did give up their first points of the season, so let's see how they bounce back here as this one gets handed off but is immediately snuffed out. A.J. Salerno on the carry. Sabion Chandler in on the tackle there for Vineland.
And that's exactly it. Most times he's going to have a fullback on his left or right coming through. He's got to get that center pressed back. Did an outstanding job that time.
2nd and 10 now for Clearview. Tank Powell, the defensive back, to the bottom of your screen. As Clearview hands this one off. Decent chunk of yards picked up there by the running back for Clearview. That's Sean Ralph Jr. Three first names there for the running back.
Two good, really well defended plays. That now it seems like it's tightened up a little bit, and I'm sure like seeing something on film is one thing, but like watching Clearview's offense on film didn't really bowl me over except for both tackles' play. They really stood out, but their execution was really good until the guards were kind of moving a little slower, bellying back on their pulls, and that'll come with some fatigue.
3rd and 6 here for Clearview. We've got whistles.
So that's going to be a false start. I don't believe the center snapped the ball, so everybody else just started moving. So no chance at getting the football for Vineland there.
So that'll push the Pioneers back 5 yards here. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. Has been quite an exciting opening quarter to kick off this game here. 13-7 your score in favor of Vineland. Third and 10 now for the Pioneers as they take the snap. Dell looking to pass. He's trying to avoid some pressure. Vineland's defense sniffing it out. That's Tayshawn Newman running right behind him, who forced him out of bounds from behind.
And here comes the punt team. So Vineland's defense holds them to a 3 and out. Good pursuit from behind. And, you know, we saw Dell run one in, but when you have that extra person, and we always had 2 guys back there, and it's like one of them 2 are going to get it. When we played Millville, same thing. But when you have 4 or 5 different guys carrying the ball, moving in motion, starting from different spots, takes a little time to get used to.
So Clearview looking to punt here. Good snap. Ball is away. Xavier Diaz, the return man. He's going to be able to run this one up. He's past the 40, up to the 45-50, and taken down from behind. Almost looked like a little bit of a horse collar tackle there.
It was close, but I did see the jersey stretching, so he maybe started there and came off. But a great return. It's nice to see somebody step up there, catch the football, and do something with. I was watching weird trick play compilation, and there was one where the guy doesn't call for a fair catch. He catches it and just stands there, takes a couple steps as everybody's walking away, and runs it in for a touchdown.
Diaz in his first season being the punt returner for Vineland. And going back to that play that forced the first down, Tayshawn Newman on the Dan Russo Show this week, which you can subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel to watch each and every Thursday night. He said he models his game after T.J. Watt, and if Coach Hendricks has a T.J. Watt there, that's fantastic stuff as Charles Clark carries this one up past the 40, but we've got flags flying in.
Yeah, we got a couple flags there where it's going to be a hold on the Fighting Clan.
Going back to Tayshawn Newman, Rich, you know, to have a film junkie like that in his junior year modeling your game after somebody who, you know, kind of prides themselves as a sack master in TJ Watt, that's got to be exciting stuff, and Coach Hendricks has to be licking his chops every time that he sees Tayshawn out there making a move. And if I heard his footsteps as a opposing quarterback, I'd be shaking in my boots.
Yeah, and it is so refreshing that somebody else is looking for their edge, you know, and that's what film's all about. I remember when I played, Coach would go over film, but I would just watch. I was a nose guard. Just watch that quarterback and center, their first step. Where was it? What keys does it give you?
So Russo spreads them out wide. 5 wide receivers here for Vineland as he's in shotgun. He's looking to pass, fakes it, trying to make a run happen. Ball's loose. And it's going to be recovered by Clearview. A costly mistake there as the play broke down. Danny Russo fumbles that one, and the Pioneers will take over at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, rule 1 when the ball's on the ground, especially if you're on offense, is get down and get it. You know, it wasn't a time to try to scoop that and run with it. I think we were first one to the football there, but we had ideas about picking it up, and it gets slapped out of his hands.
So Tyler Dell lines up under center for the Pioneers. He takes the snap. He hands this one off. It's going to be carried by Sean Ralph Jr. Josian Serrano made the initial stop there for the Fighting Clan.
I don't have a 34 for us, because he did a nice job getting down inside of there.
So Dell under center. He takes the snap. He's going to hand this one off to Sean Ralph Jr. again, who finds a wide open hole to burst through on that 2nd and 9 run to pick up a first down for Clearview.
We could see that open up. That wing tee, they're not trying to get out wide. They want to get right outside a double team block by a tight end or a wing guy. So they should be going laterally, then almost a 90 cut up field. And that was blocked perfectly. You could see that they were going to get those handfuls. And that's what Vineland, with those 3 linemen down, you know, they don't have that same advantage that way, but they certainly do in the secondary.
So Dell under center takes the snap, hands this one off to Sean Ralph Jr. once again, but he falls before he can pick up any momentum there. It's going to be 2nd down.
Well, they went right back to it.
Credit the turf monster with the tackle there.
It's going to be interesting to see if Clearview does try to spread out a little bit, because it would really give them an edge on the inside if they could pull another backer out of there. It's almost like a free block.
So Dell takes the snap. He hands this one off. O'Brien Brown on the carry.
So that's going to set up a 3rd and about 5.
And I believe that's also going to set up the end of the first quarter here, as Vineland leads 13-7 after 1 quarter of play. Touchdowns by Xavion Diaz and James Hitchens Jr. for the Fighting Clan. And while we get set for the 2nd quarter, let's have a word from our sponsors.
But the Red and Gray Gridiron Club would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of the Vineland High School football team. Ducharmes, the Greenview Inn at Eastland Golf Course, Reconstructive Orthopedics, Newfield National Bank, Van Dodge, Allen Associates, Technid Consulting, Medio Law Firm, Barufi Brothers, G&S Dry Cleaning, Vineland Education Association, Dr. Michael Gorson General and Cosmetic Dentistry, the Claridge, a Radisson Hotel, the Gorgo Group, Larry's 2 Restaurant and Catering, Bettino ShopRite, Carluzzo and Teresi Petroleum Transporters, Homestead Plumbing, Richland Carpet, Manny and Vic's Pizzeria, and Sir Speedy Printing. The Vineland High School football team and coaches thanks everyone for their support on and off the field and look forward to another successful season.
And welcome back. Kyle Bennett, Rich Scarpa in the booth here from Clearview High School as the Vineland Fighting Clan have a 13-7 lead after 1 quarter of play, and pretty impressed so far for the most part from everything Vineland's been able to do. Obviously, they give up their first touchdown on defense this season, but they've been able to, respond and answer, and we'll see if they can do that here as Clearview is driving to start the second quarter. Dell under center takes the snap. He's looking to pass. He's actually going to run it himself. Takes it past the 20, the 15, 10, 5. And he's taken down inside the 5.
A nice patient run, too, as you watch him set up his blocks and them develop in front of him.
34 on the tackle for Vineland. Result of a long run by Dell. First and goal.
So a 3rd and 6 turns into a 1st and goal now for Clearview. And we'll see what Vineland's red zone defense can do to hopefully prevent 6 points from being put on the board. Dell in shotgun. He takes the snap. He's going to carry it himself up the gut, but he's taken down by number 73, Jordan Bennett.
73, Jordan Bennett on the tackle.
It'll be 2nd and goal now for Clearview as they make some personnel changes here.
It's like you almost get more nervous. Like, great job on 1st down, but boy, they're right there with 3 more tries. It's going to be hard to get them for a tackle for loss because they're just going to pound this right up here probably 3 more times.
2nd and goal for the Pioneers as Dell is under center for this play here. Man in motion. Dell falls down, hands it off, and that's A.J. Salerno for the Pioneers, carries it in for the touchdown. We're all tied up at 13 apiece, pending the extra point attempt here by the Pioneers. Tyler Zinkovich, the kicker for the Pioneers. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 10:35 remaining here in the second quarter, Clearview retakes the lead 14-13 over Vineland. And we'll see if Vineland's offense can get back out there and respond here in what is turning into a bit of a, back and forth.
Yeah, and on that big run that set them up down there, they were able to have an extra blocker out in front. They had us outmanned at that point of attack. And that's the threat of him throwing the ball as he rolls. You got to make some reads and react and know, hey, this is a run. Let's play it like a run and not fall off. I think Vineland a little confused.
It will be interesting to see if Vineland can capitalize the score here if they decide to go for 2 to make it an even game going forward, because it does look like Clearview's just going to continue to kick extra points. We'll see if Danny Russo can get Vineland into the end zone and see if Dad can call the 2-point conversion there, and hopefully they'll be successful.
Yeah, last week, I believe the second score for Clearview was a field goal, like a 28-yarder down in Atlantic City, where it's never easy to kick. So he certainly has the leg to keep making them, and the exchanges look good. But Vineland's offense pretty much could do what they wanted the last few times they've had it. The passing game's wide open for them. They're getting more on the run. It was just that turnover. And Clearview capitalized off that turnover. They end up marching down and scoring.
So Zinkovich will kick this one away. Bit of an onside kick attempt again. And we'll see who they award the ball to here.
I believe Vineland got it back when it bounced to him, but you've got to keep fighting on the bottom of that pile. It's not the one who has it first, it's the one who has it last. What I saw was Clearview get it and then fumble it down into the Vineland player's arms. Vineland player had it on his back, and then Clearview jumps on top and pulls it from him.
That was number 44, Robert Echevarria, in there trying to recover the onside kick attempt. That's multiple times now we've seen Clearview go for the onside kick.
And that's something you got to, you can fair catch. You know, that was a pop-up. I don't believe he hit it to the ground first.
Yes.
So you can fair catch, have all the time in the world that you need without getting hit. This is where you wish just huddle was happening near the Vineland side, because then you have that sideline saying, but when he had it in his hands, he was down, so he can't lose the ball after he's down.
They're going to award the ball to Clearview.
So Clearview with another takeaway. And they're going to start with great field position. And they're little things you'll never forget. You know, continue to fight when you're at the bottom, whether you have the ball or not. Should have been a few more people on top of that. You know, you're outmanned 4-1 on the ground. It's going to be hard to come away with it.
Let's see if these big boys up front for Vineland's defensive line can cause some havoc and get this ball back for the Fighting Clan as Clearview sets up at about midfield. As Dell takes the snap, he hands this one off. Good stop there. But Sean Ralph Jr. keeps chugging along and picks up a good 5, maybe 6 on that carry.
Well, he was stopped right at the line of scrimmage, but outstanding run by him to finish that off. It's nice to see D-backs running up there and making contact at the line. Russo now in at linebacker.
Clearview takes the snap. Dell's going to run with it as he makes his way around the outside. He's got plenty of room and picks up a great chunk of yards there for the Pioneers. Catches Vineland's defense off guard, and they've got a fresh set of downs here.
Just a lack of discipline there as the guard pulls. Vineland player just heads up the field. You follow the guy pulling, it takes you to the ball. You read the guy pulling, it takes you to the ball. And instead, everybody's eyes are in the backfield. And that's what the wing T wants you to do.
So first down here for the Pioneers. Dell hands this one off. That's number 20, Aiden Flake, gets his first carry of the game.
Powell and DeVellis. DeVellis now that time plays it perfectly, gets the support from Powell, and you've got no gain.
Second down here for the Pioneers. They lead 14-13. Dell lines up under center again. He takes the snap. He hands this one off. That's Flake again. Who gets tripped up by Tank Powell. Aiden Flake, the senior, 6 foot, 181-pound running back.
So you can just, on this next play, just watch the line. One of the two guards, if not both, are going to pull, and you just need to get where they're heading. You can't ID the play by looking in the backfield, and sometimes we're a little late to the party because of that. And I do think it'd be nice to have somebody right over the center so we can clog up them pulling lanes.
3rd and 7 here for the Pioneers. Dell takes the snap. He's going to carry it around the outside once again, but he is sandwiched by Danny Russo, Tayshawn Newman, DJ Clark also in there. Great stuff there by the Vineland defense. Hopefully that gives some momentum there, gives some positive energy. You know, a big hit like that, carry that into this next play.
And you can see Clearview, of course, wants to run the ball. And when you had that lead, if you build a little more, you get them out of doing what they want to do.
4th and 5 here for the Pioneers. Dell's going to line up in shotgun on this play. Just over 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
All right, center moved.
False start on Clearview. That's going to push them back.
5 yards.
So now it'll be 4th and 10. And we'll see what they decide to do here. Just a bit of a longer ways to go here on 4th down.
It looks like you may have moved them into that passing option is pretty much the option.
Dell stays in shotgun. He takes the snap. He's looking to pass. He fires, and it's just through the hands of Xavion Diaz.
So the defense holds after the onside kick was recovered by Clearview. They moved it a little bit, but now we're right back where we were, down 1, 6:45 on the clock. Vineland's offense, which has been pretty sharp tonight, back out on the field here. You know, they missed a possession with the interception return. They missed a possession with the onside kick, so we haven't seen a ton of them, but they've been pretty successful when they've had it.
Good defensive stand there for the Vineland Fighting Clan, and that's something that you want to see them build upon. Now you got to stop on them. Let's see if you can build that momentum on defense, and let's see if the offense can hand you back the lead. As Russo lines up in shotgun with 5 wide again, this seems to be Vineland's base defense base offense, I should say, Rich, this season. They've been going 5 wide quite a bit as Russo carries this one up the gut. Great run there by Danny Russo. Picks up maybe 6 on that carry.
So now you're trying to make Clearview decide what they want to do, because if Vineland spreads it out, there's not that extra man of support. So it's basically a numbers game going on with these formations on where you're going to be attacking.
2nd and 4 here for Vineland. You got Powell to the bottom of your screen. Russo takes a low snap. He's going to take it himself again. Keeps it moving. Great job there by Danny Russo to keep his legs chugging along and inch closer towards that 1st down marker.
When he just got to move it a couple inches. I may even measure here.
Maybe look at the note card out there.
They're saying 1st down. Yeah, that always bugs me out, like, because you got to have a level on the stick to make sure, right? Because you lean it a little bit.
So they give Vineland a fresh set of downs here. 1st down for the Fighting Clan. About 5.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Trailing by 1. Russo in shotgun, 5 wide receivers. He's going to carry this up the gut again himself as he keeps chugging along. Another phenomenal run by Danny Russo. These big chunk yards on the ground, keeping Clearview's defense honest.
Well, it's 6 on 6 in the middle here. Vineland's 5 linemen and Russo. And then we have the 4 down linemen and 2 backers. So this has been 3 times in a row here. They're getting that look and they're going to it. See if Vineland tries to sneak one here. Probably do it after you get another 1st down. Wouldn't want to do it on 2nd and put yourself in a weird 3rd.
2nd and 5 here for Vineland. Carlos Rodriguez to the bottom of your screen for the Fighting Clan. Russo takes a low snap. He's looking to pass. He's firing deep.
What a catch.
And a phenomenal catch by Tank Powell.
Oh, they're waving it off. Tyrell getting his hands underneath it, but must have hit the ground as it's incomplete. Going to make it 3rd and 5.
Unfortunately, now that's 2 big-time plays that would have resulted in a Tank Powell catch that have been called back now.
The ball is coming out of Russo's hands really nice tonight. It's nice to see the offense put pressure on a defensive backfield.
3rd and 5 here for Vineland. And it looks like we have a timeout by the Fighting Clan.
So big 3rd down. Got to figure if Vineland doesn't gain any ground, they'll probably be having to kick it away. You just had your defense make a stop from the 50 where they started and stopped them, and don't want to put that pressure back on the defense. And with that last formation, Clearview was saying, all right, Russo, let's see if you can get the 5 and a little that you need.
I like the timeout decision here by Vineland to kind of just, commiserate, see what you can, plan out here on this third down, and depending on where you get the ball, see if you can potentially go for it on fourth down, try to get Clearview to jump off sides, pick up a fresh set of downs. There's a lot of options still here, even with where you are on the field. So 3rd and 5 here for the Fighting Clan. 5 wide receivers, Russo in shotgun. Russo takes the snap. He's looking to pass. He's firing deep, and it's over the head of Tank Powell, almost intercepted by the Pioneers. So that'll lead to a 4th and 5.
Well, Russo does a good job staying in there and delivering that. He was under a little bit of pressure there at the end and took a shot for it, but just enough pressure to throw the timing off of that. And looks like Vineland's going to be punting.
Colin Greif trots out onto the field.
Number 14, Colin Greif.
Having your first punt this late in the second quarter is awesome, but if you have some turnovers mixed in there, it's kind of, you'd rather have been able to punt.
So we'll see if Greif's streak of just booting this ball down the field on his punts continues, as he's been able to get some good distance to pin opponents back deep in their own territory. Good snap. Greif gets this one away.
How did he get that out of there?
Takes a favorable Vineland bounce and roll down to about the 20-yard line.
That one nearly blocked. I was looking to the right to see where the ball was going to end up, but Greif got it out of there. Ends up being a good punt as he does move it inside the 20.
So with 4:20 remaining here in the opening half, Clearview taking over at about the 20-yard line with a 14-13 lead. And we'll see if Vineland's defense can build upon that last drive that they were out there for, halting Clearview's offense, and maybe they'll get another turnover here, Rich, like they did on that first play of the game and ran it back for a touchdown. Wouldn't mind seeing that from this Vineland defense.
And just trying to get it back to the offense one more time this half.
Dell takes the snap, hands this one
There
off
you
to
go.
Sean Ralph Jr., and he's stuffed immediately. Bryce Wilson in on the stop.
You got a player down on the field for Clearview. Yeah, so you can get the ball back here, have a chance to do something. Vineland will receive the second half kick. But on both sides, it's been turnovers and some strange, 2 onside kick attempts. You get one of the 2 of them. That's the good thing about football. You have a halftime and you're able to address these things, even though you're doing it right away on the side. But just have everybody on the same page, because you're probably going to see it again.
Once again, if you're missing an iPhone, we have it up here in the prep box, located at midfield on the home side.
While we have a break in play, we did have a fantastic outing by Vineland alumni Tyreen Powell last week against Boston College. Had himself a phenomenal game for the Scarlet Knights as they beat Boston College 22-21.
And a couple sacks, and I think it was 2 or 3
for
tackles.
loss,
Yeah.
making his presence felt.
And that was one of the concerns for Rutgers. Not that they didn't have the linebackers, but that they didn't have a ton of experience. And for both, there's another line, I forget that the other linebacker's name. It was like their player of the game or whatever else. It's a real nice start.
TCNJ also got a big win. Shout out to Braylon Blakely. His first year up there with the Lions. As Dell takes the snap, he hands this one off. Sean Ralph Jr. again on the carry.
So third and short, 3rd and about 2.
Bryce Wilson, yet again, in on that stop, having himself a night on the defensive side of things. Third and 2 here for Clearview. Dell on the QB keeper.
He picks up that first down. So now with 3:17 to go, pretty much another first down. Vineland may not get the ball back.
So Dell under center here on 1st and 10 for Clearview. He takes the snap. He hands this one off. That's O'Brien Brown.
Number 30, O'Brien Brown on the carry around the left side.
Another good carry by another Clearview running back.
For a pickup of 7 or 8. 51,
It'll
Ryan Carter
drive you crazy.
on the tackle.
It's hard to do. When I was coaching, pretty much 9 out of 10 teams ran a wing tee. So you practice it every day. We ran it under Coach Belfie. You see it every day. And if you watching the ball trying to figure out where it's going is difficult, but if you just watch whoever pulls where they're going, they've not influence pulled. It's always been to the ball. You can avoid all these fakes.
2nd and 3 here for Clearview. Dell under center hands this one off to O'Brien Brown as he bounces his way forward.
O'Brien Brown again. Up to the 45-yard line of Vineland. Stop initially by Daniel Russo, number 10.
Danny Russo makes the stop there on that run.
First down.
It is a first down for Clearview. Under 2 minutes to go here. Dell under center. Takes the snap. He's looking to pass. He rolls out. He's firing deep. And it's incomplete. Intended for number 19, Billy Newman, covered by Tank Powell.
Good coverage on there, but also good blocking by Clearview. They gave Dell plenty of time to make that pass. With Vineland's defense, as the season's gone on, they're working a lot more people in.
Second and 10 here for the Pioneers. Dell under center. Takes the snap, hands this one off to Sean Ralph Jr. He's got plenty of room to run. He's making his way all the way down past the 45 to the 40 to the 35 and runs out of bounds.
Yeah, bad time for a blitz from Vineland. His linebacker stunts, takes you out of your read, and that's what opens things up if you're not at the right spot. Used to tell my players, if we're blitzing, it's because you're not doing your job, and I got to cover up because you're not handling your responsibilities. Unless we're on a hash and I blitz short side corner, because that's always fun.
First down here for the Pioneers. Dell hands this one off to O'Brien Brown, who's gobbled up by Tayshawn Newman and Danny Russo. Gavin Gallo also in there on the tackle.
It's like Clearview's going to take a timeout with 1:15 to go. They are on Vineland's 35, and they'd love nothing better than to get something in before the half.
Gallo made his debut on the Dan Russo show this week as well, playing all 3 phases for this Vineland team. He is the center on offense, playing some linebacker on defense, and he's also the long snapper.
Yeah, not much time to come to the side and get some water.
And I'll tell you what, that week 0 game against Oakcrest, I don't think Gavin Gallo is one of the guys cramping up either.
It was nice to see the other team cramp up tonight for a little bit. Yeah, that was interesting after the week one going for 2, and then you talk to Coach Russo and you find out, well, we had 3 guys off extra point team, and just so many things have to go right with everybody there, yet alone some guys out of there. So behind the stick, 2nd and 11, 1:15 on the clock.
Dell under center. He takes the snap, hands this one off to O'Brien Brown once again, who turns upfield and turns something into nothing. Or as Mark Zumoff used to say, turning garbage into gold.
Your 76ers.
Dell takes the snap on the hurry-up play here. He's looking to pass. He's rolling out. Fires. And it's incomplete through the hands of Tank Powell. But we do have a flag on the field.
Now, it was a clean hit on the quarterback. It was a hold. Okay, that makes sense. I was going to say he got there in time, and I thought that was a little ticky-tack, but a holding penalty on Clearview. So, of course, Vineland will take that. The secondary's not been fooled at all. They've been in great position on any of these passing plays. It's just everybody getting involved in stopping this running attack.
Penalty on the play against Clearview for holding brings it back to the 43-yard line. Or brings up 3rd down on a bump.
So 46 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and long, 3rd and about 18.
Dell's lined up in shotgun here. He takes the snap. He's going to pass. He's firing deep. And almost corralled in by number 34 for Vineland. We do not have a name for on our roster.
Yeah, 2 Vineland defenders there. It's almost like if there was just one, we may have had the interception, but both going for the football there.
And if number 34 was able to pull that one in, that would have been Odell Beckham Jr.-esque when he made that one-handed catch.
11 Mark Rupp back to punt for the Pioneers.
So Clearview's going to punt this one away with 39.9 seconds to go in the second quarter.
And not a strong one, off the side of the foot with the pressure. So Vineland will have, I believe, 2 timeouts in 35 seconds. And the way their passing game has been going, you got to figure they'll take a couple shots here.
And if you're just joining us as well, Vineland will receive the second half opening kickoff.
Vineland's just punted once. A couple of turnover and then an onside kick.
Vineland started this game with a defensive touchdown by Xavion Diaz on an interception return. And then their lone offensive touchdown came from Danny Russo passing to his number 1 receiver, James Hitchens Jr., who is to the bottom of your screen right now on this first down play. As Russo in shotgun takes the snap, he's going to carry it himself, tries to barrel through.
Russo on the keeper.
Knocks off almost 6.5 seconds on the clock there.
And Vineland will stop the clock with a timeout after that rush attempt. Yeah, the goofiness of the way this game's going has really stopped the offense's momentum. You know, you lost a couple possessions and then driving and a fumble. Kind of seems like they've not been out there for a complete drive in a while, and they moved the ball so freely early in the game. Part of me feels like if you just threw it every down, You get 1 out of 4, you got a first down and then some. And we've not seen a lot of Clark in the backfield. Vineland stuck with spreading everybody out, you know, and it's been successful. But Russo's starting out by himself probably 90% of the plays.
Tank Powell and James Hitchens Jr. to the bottom of your screen as Russo takes the snap. He's going to look to pass. He's looking in that direction. He's rolling out, fires, and it's complete to James Hitchens Jr.
What an outstanding job by the offensive line. And we talk about the tackles from Clearview and R2 with the interior line. They gave Russo all the time in the world. When Russo didn't see anything, he just had to make one move, and then he had even more time. Great job up front, big boys, allowing that to happen. And, of course, nice throw and Hitchens, good catch. But to have that kind of time, you're asking the defensive backs that have struggled this year to cover some fast, big receivers for quite a long time.
And Hitchens is typically the wide receiver that you're looking for the big play, looking for him in the end zone, not necessarily out in the open field. So great job by him coming up with the ball in the open field and making a spectacular catch to progress Vineland's defense down the field and hopefully give them a chance to score with 20.8 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
So Vineland used their last timeout right there. Figured too much would run off and the clock stops till the ball's marked, but you're still going to lose about 8 to 10 seconds. So you would think Vineland would just be throwing it from here out, taking a couple cracks down there. We did talk about Greif's foot and looking around 25 to 30.
As Russo takes the snap, he's looking to pass, he's scrambling. Looked like his arm was kind of going forward there. They're going to rule this Clearview football.
So another turnover. The initial protection was good. Russo tried to step up and just no room to do that. What was it, last week we saw a lot of sacks and almost safeties for Vineland when it was called incomplete, you know, with ball just moving forward a little bit. So it looks like Clearview's going to take a knee and get us to the half here.
So Dell takes that knee, and Clearview will go into halftime with a 14-13 lead over Vineland. Pretty back and forth game in terms of scoring, going pound for pound with one another. Vineland will receive the opening kickoff for the second half. We'll see if they can, fix some things, make some adjustments, and go out there and put some more points on the board and hopefully get some more consistency on offense and defense. And for my partner, Rich Scarpa, we will see you guys in the second half.
Here comes your Pioneers. Give it up. At the end of the third quarter, we will be recognizing each of the cheerleaders individually. Give it up again for the Clearview Marching Band. For yet another stunning performance. We have another lost item up here in the press box. This time it is a jersey belonging to a member of the Junior Pioneers, number 44, close. If you can make your way up here, you've got your jersey. Also, we will have the 50-50 drawing in a few minutes. So have your tickets ready. Also, if there is any member of the Clearview Varsity Girls Golf Team, please make your way to the press box. Your attendance is necessary. Once again, junior Pioneer player number 44, last name Close, C-L-O-S-E. Your jersey's up here.
And welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us. Kyle Bennett, Rich Scarpa up here in the booth as we're getting set for second half action here at Clearview High School as the Pioneers lead the Fighting Clan 14-13. Rich, it's been kind of back and forth in terms of scoring when both teams have had the opportunities, and now it's just a matter of time to see who's going to be able to execute and keep control of this game.
Yeah, exactly, back and forth, starting with an interception return on the first play of the game by Xavier Diaz for the Fighting Clan. Quarterback Dell then scores. Then Russo hits Hitchens Jr. on a touchdown pass. And then they run another one back in, and the only difference being an extra point. So, boy, it really looked like we were getting ready to pull away a little bit. And then turnovers. On offense, there's 2 times at least that we've turned it over. Earlier in the game, it was Vineland with the turnover, then also ripping the football out over and over. But as the second quarter developed, the running game really came into play for Clearview. Them getting that onside kick, taking the offense off the field, then you don't have that rhythm. Now you've been sitting out there for 20 minutes waiting to get a football back.
Clearview's first touchdown of the game, too, was one of those that we both thought, was a fumble into the end zone, and was ruled, down by contact, so then they were able to put points on the board there. 2 passes intended for Tank Powell were ruled incomplete.
We've got some new faces up there as Vineland's going to put a hands unit in.
Smart adjustment. As both times we've seen Clearview kick off, quote unquote, for everybody at home, it's been an onside kick attempt. So smart adjustment there by Coach Russo and the coaching staff to put them up top. Another bit of a squibber as Tank Powell recovers this one and runs it up about 3 yards there. So great adjustment there. That's what we like to see from this Vineland team coming out of halftime, is making these adjustments from what they saw in the first half and hopefully using that to their advantage heading into this second half.
Clearview noticed the adjustment, and instead of just popping it up to the front line, tried to make the catch a little more difficult and get somebody down there to hit Powell when he got it. But Powell able to come down with that and pick up some yards. So Vineland right outside at their own 48, almost starting from midfield.
Great field position for Danny Russo and company. Charles Clark is in the backfield. Didn't see too much of him running the ball in the first half. We'll see if that changes here for Vineland, but they've got great field position here for their first drive of the second half. Russo takes the snap. He's going to carry it himself around the outside, makes a move, and picks up a first down. Great run there by Danny Russo.
Boy, the timing was perfect. Russo really heading upfield quickly, and that's like perfect execution. Instead of that draw, you attack it. And the first time you had Clark back there, maybe the second all game, there's something else for them to now look at instead of just one person with the football back there.
First down line.
Vineland picks up a first down on that opening play. Tank Powell to the bottom of your screen. Carlos Rodriguez, the slot man there. Russo takes the snap, hands that one off to Charles Clark, who's trying to make a move, bounces around the outside, pushes forward. Great job by Charles Clark to stay on his feet.
Stays on, gets some help and a push, and picks up some real nice yards. And pre-snap, they had a little bit. Clearview's defense was set up to really shouldn't have been where we were running the ball. They had it played well, but just an outstanding job of staying on blocks and staying on that rush. And it looks like a gain of 7.
Yep, so the mark, it's 2nd and 3 here for Vineland.
You mentioned on the show this week, but we didn't mention here about Charles Burt being done for the year, and that's something Vineland hasn't gone back to. We've not seen a tight end in the mix. They're just deciding to spread it out. But that's another piece, your experienced tight end that can really help with the running game.
DJ Clark in motion. Russo hands it off to him. First time we've kind of seen that jet sweep as DJ Clark makes a move upfield, continues to stay on his feet. Great run there by DJ Clark. First time we've seen that play out of Vineland's bag of tricks in this game, and that's a play that they've gone to a lot this year that has found a lot of success for this Vineland offense.
Yeah, and it started last year with DJ Clark. Just seeing him with the football, it's a compliment to whatever else is going on. He's a playmaker. He knows how to finish runs. You keep him involved because he's certainly involved on the defense. Keep him a little bit more involved on offense. Give that defense something else to look at. 1st and 10, Vineland quickly on the move inside the 20.
Russo in shotgun. He takes the snap. He hands that one off to Charles Clark, who bounces around, and he is pushing his way forward into the end zone for a touchdown. Charles Clark, his first touchdown of the season. And Vineland retakes the lead here with 9:47 remaining in the third quarter. It's 19-14 Fighting Clan.
Well, awesome job by everyone, but especially up front. So here's something that we weren't able to really get a ton with. We had Russo just doing it himself, and now the offensive line has battling and had done a great job on that whole drive.
Vineland will go for the extra point here. So if Greif converts, it'll still be a 6-point game. Ball snapped, spotted, kick is up, and it is good.
And the extra point is good.
So 20-14 is your score in favor of Vineland, and a fantastic drive there by the Vineland offense, getting the running game incorporated more, keeping Clearview, on their toes, not necessarily knowing what Vineland was going to do, and a great adjustment by the Vineland offense to start this second half.
Just over 2 minutes, Vineland's in the end zone. It was 16 seconds or so in the first half. Vineland's opened up both halves with touchdowns rather quickly. So now Clearview gets a shot, and we've seen the changes Vineland made on offense seem to work pretty well. Let's see what Clearview's coming. I don't know that they need to change a ton. It's going to be if Vineland's going to be disciplined to follow their keys and keep their eyes out of the backfield.
So now Vineland's defense, we're going to get a chance to see their adjustments now, which will be very exciting to see how Coach Hendricks, is looking at game plan now after, giving up their first scores of the season. As Colin Greif kicks this one away. It will be returned here by the Pioneers, who take it up past the 40. That's number 21, Aaron Lemons, the junior fullback. Great name.
They kind of ran like an old fullback there. Shifty, quick, always upfield. And whenever one of the up guys catch it, you always try to find a number. Give me a high number, not too high. Give me a 70s or 50s. Maybe this guy can cough it up.
And a great start here for Vineland's defense.
It's the other thing, the yards, not like yards after contact, the yards after scrum. That time the defensive backs come up and not let him keep churning forward for an extra 2. It doesn't sound like much, but it makes the play calling much more difficult.
So 2nd and 8 here for Clearview. Dell under center. He takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Sean Ralph.
There's a flag.
A number of flags fly in.
Outside the tackle box, you get a block in the back or a hold. They're going to call it a hold. So we'll redo second down, but it's probably going to be second down and 19 based on where the flag is. They go 10 from there. And you get those hold calls with good defense. And can't complain about getting held. You just have to try to fight off it, and that's what gets you the call. Almost like when they say a pass was uncatchable. Well, you got to get, you got to do something to get the call.
So Dell under center, he takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's looking to pass deep. That's O'Brien Brown.
No. Oh, I'm yelling no because I saw a Clearview player with a yellow glove. I thought it was a flag flying in. I'm like, that was played perfectly.
Covered by Tank Powell. That pass falls incomplete. It's going to be third and 16 now.
Yeah, and that's just what we try to get them into passing downs. And it's almost like if we can get our head turned and see the ball, we'll have a better chance at getting it. A lot of things have been coming up a little short. Have been kind of a lot of air underneath of them.
Dell under center. Takes the snap. He hands this one off. That's Sean Ralph Jr. He leaps forward. Still shy of a fresh set of downs, so this will be fourth down.
4th and 5, and in comes the punt team for Clearview. I believe that time they went on a longer count also, and Vineland disciplined enough not to jump off. So 4th and 6.
Good stand by Vineland's defense, and now hopefully this gives the offense an opportunity to, charge down the field again, put more points on the board, and take a multiple score lead. High punt. This one's going to go out of bounds.
Off Leslie Visser's head. That's 2 punts that got kind of shanked and went really short.
So it's 7:51 remaining here in the third quarter. Vineland's offense will take the field. We'll see where they exactly mark this ball. It's about the 47-yard line, so pretty close to where they started their last drive to open this quarter, in which Vineland put points on the board.
So many things keep you in a game or take you out of it, turnovers being one, penalties being another. But, I tend to say it a lot, but Vineland scores on this drive and Clearview doesn't. Then it's not just momentum, it's attitude and belief. You start to question when you're on the wrong side of it, and you start to build even more confidence when you're on the right side. So Vineland looking to take over in this one.
DJ Clark, the man in motion. He's going to take the carry on the jet sweep. Great run again by DJ Clark. That's going to be pretty close, if not a first down for the Fighting Clan.
If it isn't broke, don't change anything. And Vineland hit that on the last drive for about 12 yards, and here they get 8. You notice Russo carrying out his fake afterward, attacking up into the line. That'll hold those linebackers so they're not getting a square shot on Clark, and that also gives Russo the option to pull it.
So they mark that 2nd and 1, so a 9-yard pickup there by DJ Clark. As Russo lines up in shotgun by himself this time. DJ Clark in motion. He fakes the handoff. Russo going to carry it up the gut himself. Great burst of energy and great burst of speed.
So now that we talked about that after the last play, that he has that option he carried out to fake the first time. So now when you're on defense, you can't slide to jet motion. You can't move down a gap. You can't widen out on that side because then Vineland has an advantage up in the middle. So you really put them in a conundrum defending that jet motion.
Number 34 down on the field for Vineland.
Number 34.
Looking at some scores around going on tonight, Rich. An opponent that Vineland will have next week at home, Kingsway, taking on Washington Township, another team Vineland will see in the coming weeks. Last I checked, Kingsway was up on top. Yes, Kingsway leading now with 3:21 remaining in the fourth quarter, 24-10 over Washington Township. Kingsway coming into Vineland next week, so that's an opponent that we'll be talking about on the Dan Russo Show this week.
As we mentioned pregame, this is a conference game, as we have other conference opponents we're giving you scores on. So, you always want to win a conference, but you definitely want to get wins in the conference. And we won't know how things will shake out when this is done, but I've seen an offense that's gotten better every week. A defense that for the most part has been outstanding, and an asset, a plus on the field. So if there's been seasons where you start out and then you don't know which way you're going to go. Is this team going to come together? Is this team going to fall apart? But with this, we've seen steady progression week to week. We know that practices are going better and better week to week. Everybody's happy with what's happening. So being able to come away with your second win here to go to 2-1 is really important to be able to make those next steps. Coach Russo spent a lot of time talking about we want wins. And sometimes you can't say it any more simple. You need to learn how to win, but the goal is a win. The goal isn't this or this many yards or this many this. You got to get out with a W.
Russo takes the snap. He hands it off to DJ Clark, who bounces around the outside. Or I'm sorry, that is Charles Clark.
So Clark reverses field. Nothing there for him. No, he's going to lose a yard.
Six and a half minutes to go here in the third quarter. Vineland leading 20-14. Second and 11 upcoming here for the Fighting Clan. Tank Powell and Carlos Rodriguez to the bottom of your screen. James Hitchens Jr. all by himself at the top of your screen.
And that's a nice matchup for the Fighting Clan.
Russo takes the snap, hands it off to Charles Clark. But Clearview sniffs that one out, and it's going to be third down here for Vineland.
Yeah, nothing in the middle there. This time Clark just puts his head down and gets back to the line, or maybe a little more instead of trying to belly back. Vineland with the ball at Clearview's 33. It's probably 2-down territory. But I did like with Clark in the backfield. Safety help was so far away from Hitchens on the top of the screen.
So we'll see what Vineland does here on this third down play, where they found some moderate success so far this season, converting on third down. Third and 10. Russo trotting back over to the sideline.
Well, they got to call timeout. Vineland will take a timeout as the play clock was winding down.
Timeout Vineland.
So you're throwing the ball here, Kyle?
It wouldn't shock me if they decide to. I would probably throw it. You've had success finding your wide receivers open, whether it's James Hitchens Jr. Obviously, there's been some opportunities there for Tank Powell as well that haven't been able to be converted. But there's been opportunities to, find success in the passing game and not necessarily going for the deep threat, the home run play. I would try it, especially since you are relatively in that 2-down territory here on third down.
Yeah, and the passing attack has done so well because I think we can pass block better than open up holes run blocking. Not that we didn't do that on the last drive, but the pass protection's been pretty good tonight. So it may give you a little bit more of an opportunity to survey things instead of pre-snap knowing where you're going with the football.
Third and 10 here for Vineland. Russo takes the snap. He's looking to pass. He's firing. And it's off the hands of James Hitchens Jr.
He's early on the contact. Well, great job by Clark that time picking up a blitzing linebacker. Happened to see him coming on his stunt, and he was going to be unblocked, and Charles steps up and makes a really good block to let Russo get rid of that.
Looks like Vineland will stay out here on offense for this 4th down play.
Yeah, I kind of thought the defender got there a little early on that one. And Clearview has to burn a timeout. Their corner comes running off the field with a shoe problem or something, and he's been matched up one-on-one, number 20, with Hitchens all night, and they certainly didn't want to run that play without him in there.
Number 20 for Clearview, Aiden Flake. Fourth and 10 upcoming here for Vineland. Let's see what they decide to do here. Try to pick up the first down and extend this drive and hopefully get some more points on the board. As Aiden Flake runs off the field again for Clearview.
1, 2, 3, 4. I got 10. Huh.
Lots of confusion here from the Pioneer defense. James Hitchens Jr. is to the bottom of your screen. Russo looking to pass. He's firing. Gets Charles Clark in space. He makes a cut move. It's going to be close.
Well, the near side guy has him short. The far side guy has him right about there. Boy, Russo floated that perfectly, you know, on that swing pass or screen pass. You know, you want the defense to get up the field a little bit, and he just dropped it over the top.
Close enough for a measurement.
Well, I think we have it. The spot came from the far side, not the near side.
They are going to come measure this one.
A lot of extra second effort by Clark gets them close. And it is a first down.
Great job by Charles Clark to pick up that first down. Just kept chugging along like he does, and he always keeps his legs running. We picked up on that last year when he got called up to varsity, and he just doesn't stop running until that whistle is blown.
And a smart play. He didn't try to do too much and get too much. Knew what the goal was to get that first down, and used a little bit more power instead of elusiveness on that one. So Vineland converts a big 4th down here halfway through the 3rd quarter.
Russo in shotgun. He takes the snap. He hands this one off. He's actually going to carry it himself. Great fake there by Danny Russo to pick up another first down for Vineland, as they are now within the 10-yard line and in striking distance of taking a 2-score lead.
Sean Ralph on the tackle.
Boy, and as well as Clearview did early, they got gashed 2 plays in a row here.
First and goal, Vineland from the 9.
First and goal from the 9-yard line for the Fighting Clan. We have a 20-14 lead here late in the 3rd quarter. Bit of a different look here for Vineland. Russo takes the snap. He hands this one off to Charles Clark.
Short run up the middle. Good for a couple. Chinchillo on the tackle.
Picks up maybe 1 or 2 on that carry.
2nd down goal.
Well, if you're hitting up in that middle quick, it just really hasn't gone well. You get a little space when you have Russo take it from the shotgun and then delay a second and have them fan out. But that's tough going on the inside versus Clearview.
DJ Clark in the slot to the bottom of your screen. He moves in motion. Russo takes the snap. He's going to carry it himself up the gut.
Keeps it.
Hang on to that ball, Danny.
Once again, the middle of that line does a nice job for Clearview. Maybe a gain of 1. It has the ball down right around the 5-yard line.
3rd and goal here. depending on the situation too. Colin Greif was on the Dan Russo show this week with myself and Coach Russo and said, his range is 30 to 35 yards for a field goal. So if they want to try for the points and don't necessarily feel good about the 4th and goal situation, you can trot Colin out there and potentially get 3 more points on the board here. Russo in shotgun, Charles Clark in the backfield as well. Russo takes the snap. He hands this one off on the fake, carries it himself.
Stops short of the goal line.
Stops just short of the goal line.
So he's maybe at the 1, so I think this is go for it territory here. Because even if you don't make it, Clearview's really starting with their heels in the end zone. Too close not to go for it. Sure, as a young kicker, I would be like, hey, you know what? Maybe if they don't gain anything, like, would you root for you to get the opportunity? Like, I was kind of a selfish person. I always was my biggest fan and trying to do things for, But
see if Russo does this on a keeper. Hands it off to DJ Clark. Russo going to keep it himself, pushing forward.
Touchdown.
And it is a touchdown for Vineland. Danny Russo, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the season.
Daniel Russo.
He gives Vineland a 2-score lead, now 26-14 in favor of the Fighting Clan here with 1:25 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Another fantastic drive by this Vineland offense. They're starting to click and really gel together as a unit, Rich. And we saw that last week against Bridgeton. It's carrying over this week. They just look like a well-oiled machine now, and even when adversity's in their face, they're able to overcome it as Colin Greif kicks this one up. And it is good. So with 1:25 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, Vineland leads 27-14, and we are going to send this to a word from our sponsors.
The Red and Gray Gridiron Club would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of the Vineland High School football team. Ducharme's, the Greenview Inn at Eastland Golf Course, Reconstructive Orthopedics, Newfield National Bank, Van Dodge, Allen Associates, Technid Consulting, Medio Law Firm, Barufi Brothers, G&S Dry Cleaning, Vineland Education Association, Dr. Michael Gorson General and Cosmetic Dentistry, The Claridge, a Radisson Hotel, The Gorgo Group, Larry's 2 Restaurant and Catering, Bettino's ShopRite, Carluzzo and Teresi Petroleum Transporters, Homestead Plumbing, Richland Carpet, Manny and Vic's Pizzeria, and Sir Speedy Printing. The Vineland High School football team and coaches thanks everyone for their support on and off the field and look forward to another successful season.
And welcome back. Thank you to our sponsors. Kyle Bennett, Rich Scarpa here in the booth with you as Vineland just put more points on the board on a 1-yard touchdown carry by Danny Russo to take a 27-14 lead. And we talked about it during that drive, Rich, for Vineland to put up points there. It gives them that confidence boost now that they are kind of in control now. They have a 2-score lead, and it kind of, might make Clearview press a little harder. They're going to have to really lock in as Colin Greif kicks this one away. It will be returned. And that's Cephas making the initial stop there on number 19, Billy Newman, for the Pioneers.
Yeah, it may press them to have to try to throw the ball a little more. I mean, it doesn't make them with still 1 minute and 17 seconds in the 3rd, but they're definitely going to have to mix it in a little more, and that hasn't been one of their strengths.
We've seen Dell line up under center for most of this game. We'll see if they try to shake it up, maybe put him in shotgun like we've seen on a couple of their passing plays as they set up shop here. With 1:17 remaining in the 3rd quarter, Dell will line up under center. As he takes the snap, he hands this one off. And Sean Ralph Jr. is met immediately by Derek Akami.
Well, a big tackle for loss of about 4 yards, and that really messes up a wing T offense.
And you see that energy that Derek has when he makes a stop, makes a tackle. That's infectious around this entire defense, and to have their defensive leader back out there, it shows in the energy and the poise that this defense has that they're ready to go out there and make a play, and their guy is leading the way.
And remember, those matchups are against two really good tackles.
So 2nd and 14 here for the Pioneers. Dell moves a man in motion, takes the snap. He hands this one off to O'Brien Brown.
O'Brien Brown on the carry.
Where the Vineland defense is getting physical out there, swarming to the football.
Tayshawn Newman, Ryan Maven, all in there to make some stops, as well as number 22, Josian Serrano. Number 34 in there as well, who, like we said earlier, we don't have a name for number 34 on our roster, so we apologize for that, but good group tackle there nonetheless by Vineland.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter as Clearview doesn't try to get another playoff. As we head to the fourth, Vineland starting to take this over, and a 3rd and 11 coming up for Clearview.
Vineland up 27-14. You just saw Jordan Bennett walking off to the sideline, clapping his hands, very excited. And that's the type of energy you want to see from this Vineland defense when you are in the lead, when you do have kind of a bit of control of the game and it's in your hands. You want to see that energy from your defense.
Boy, and they brought it this half. We're talking about another 3 and out and punting. So with Clearview, if they don't convert here and give the ball back to Vineland, they're definitely going to have to go into a pass mode with their next possession. The only bad thing is that means Vineland's going to a run mode, which has been working, but I really like the way Russo was throwing the ball. I like the pass blocking. But, I mean, you got to take some time off the clock. I get it, and you're right, but I really wanted to see what they would have to do if they had to press, because passing lanes are there, protection's there.
Put your hands together one more time for those junior cheerleaders.
So fourth quarter about to get underway here at Clearview High School. Vineland leading 27-14. Big 3rd down here for this Vineland defense. As Dell looking to pass. He fires, and it's complete, and it falls incomplete. Very similar to that Tank Powell play that we saw in the first quarter. Looked like the receiver caught the ball, and then defense comes in, makes the perfectly timed play to knock it loose, and it falls incomplete.
Great job defensively there. And that was probably the best pass they've thrown. There was no air under that. Pretty tight, pretty line drive. Got right where he wanted it. Now the punts have not gone really well for Clearview.
So we'll see if that trend continues, which would be great for Vineland's offense and set them up with fantastic field position. Again, low snap. This one does get away. Best punt of the night for Clearview by far, as it takes a favorable Vineland bounce, bounces back towards the 50-yard line. And Vineland will set up shop at about the 49-yard line. Again, great starting field position for this team. You only have about a half a field to work with, and we'll see if Vineland decides to, keep their foot on the gas pedal and go score some more points.
Yeah, and let's see if now we can get a bigger push. Last week it was Clearview in a ball game that wore down at the end of the game, and the defense became very malleable. And now, this is the chance to test that out. I mean, they got a lot of guys going both ways.
So 1st and 10 here for Vineland. 11:44 remaining in regulation. Russo in shotgun. Takes the snap, hands this one off to Charles Clark, bounces forward, and gets wrapped up by the Clearview defense. But a good run again by Charles Clark. Picks up maybe 4 on the carry.
Yeah, Clark's shifty as he comes to the line there. Bounces a little left or right and squares up. That time he lost a couple more yards he could have had because of a nice tackle that just pulled his leg out as he's getting ready to extend forward to pick up 5. Now the big tackle checks back in. He was was out for a couple plays, 65.
They're going to mark that 2nd and 6 now, so Clark picks up about 4 on that carry. Under 11 minutes now to go here in regulation. Bit of a different look here for the Vineland offense. Russo still in shotgun. Moves DJ Clark in motion. Fakes the handoff, carries it up the gut himself. And Russo picks up about 4 on his own there. It's going to be a very manageable 3rd down here for Vineland.
A nice play as the two wing backs go in motion and they run jet away from it, and then they come back under with Russo with 2 lead blockers. And these things, they get you 3-4 yards, but they also make a defense have to read better, have to watch more, have to respond better, because you can't just follow the flow. I mean, for years, Ocean City's run a counter. That's what they do. They counter on the inside after setting you up all game, and it's effective.
3rd and 2 here for Vineland.
Same look.
Russo in shotgun. Takes the snap. He's going to carry it himself up the gut, and Danny Russo's got himself a 1st down and more. Great push forward there by the offensive line by Russo to keep those legs churning, and Vineland's got themselves a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, it was going to be close on that initial surge, but a great job of finishing. You know, in Russo's last longer run that he had, you know, one thing he does is he's always heading full speed at somebody, and then it's one move or no move. It's not like the slow down, hesitate. He makes you think and react and tries to put you on an island by yourself. That type of run there up the gut was more of the power end of it, but he's constantly, remember Charlie Garner back in the day, just always heading upfield.
1st and 10 here for Vineland.
Looks like they're going to run their whole package out of this double wing.
Russo in shotgun. Moves DJ Clark in motion. Fakes the handoff. Russo going to carry it himself up the gut again. Great run by Russo as he picks up a 1st down on that run as well.
Boy, Vineland's showing they can play some power football if they need to. As we're seeing the whole series with this double wing, that's, you know, 3 different plays out of 4 times in it.
And I love what I just saw there on our monitor, Rich. Emmanuel DeVellis goes up to Russo, gives him a big hug, claps him up. That's just the teamwork and this camaraderie that this offense has been showing all season long. And that's kind of been that culture change that we've seen as this new guard of Vineland players, you know, gets rocking and rolling together as a full-blown unit, as most of these guys are very similar in age, very similar in grade. They're working together and playing as a team.
And Coach Parentazzi will be all smiles, loves the huddle, and in the huddle you see the love that the players have and also hold you accountable to be standing right next to each other.
Charles Clark is the running back beside Dan Russo. Russo takes the snap, hands it off to Clark. Another great run there by Charles Clark, the sophomore running back for Vineland.
Well, it's just 5 at a shot, and a Clearview again rolling fresh bodies in there.
2nd and 3 upcoming here for Vineland. Under 8 minutes to go.
And Clearview's not been able to keep both tackles in the ball game at the same time defensively.
As Charles Clark is the running back once again for Vineland. Russo in shotgun, takes the snap, hands it off.
Looks like he's going to have it, another 1st down.
And these are the types of games, Rich, in my opinion, that help propel a team forward throughout a season. You know, you face some adversity for the first time all year in a kind of a back and forth during that first half. Vineland able to overcome it. They get that big defensive stop to allow the offense to go score and take the lead and then give yourself a 2-score lead. I think this is a win that will stick with Coach Russo, this coaching staff, and this team for the remainder of the year to kind of push them forward and know what they're capable of.
Yeah, I think offensively the Lions probably had their best game against probably their biggest challenge. You know, it didn't start out all awesome with that. There were some bumps in the road, but now they're getting 5 yards a pop and forcing their will, running right at the big D1 tackle.
So Russo in shotgun, takes the snap, hands this one off to Charles Clark, bullies his way forward, continuing to run hard here in the fourth quarter.
And rapidly, we're halfway through the fourth quarter. That's got to be tough to have your two best defenders not be able to be in the game at the end.
So 2nd and 9 here for Vineland. They're going to spread the receivers out. Charles Clark still in the backfield with Russo. As Russo takes the snap, he's going to take it himself, carries it. Nice slide there by Danny. Slides at about the 10.
See, that time a little hesitation may have let Bennett get in front of him for the block there. So now we're getting interesting here with 3rd and 6, where we're close enough for a field goal.
I'm going to mark it about 3rd and 4 now. And on the subject of the field goal, I wouldn't hate that opportunity for Colin Greif to come in and, test his leg strengths. It's a game where you have control and you give him an opportunity to put points on the board for you.
And an opportunity to get back the points that you were. Well, Vineland takes a timeout before this 3rd down.
And I did get some of the old Facebook memories that pop up. And a few years ago, this week, Carly Kling, first female player in Vineland High School football history to record a point for the team, happened during this week a few years ago.
Yeah, she had a run of successfully converted PATs.
Obviously, her brother Robert, also a fantastic kicker as well.
And everybody using the same kicking school too. A lot of the kickers around here, as we heard Greif mention it. So Vineland trying to salt this one away. 4:42. 3rd down, and they're on the 15 or on the 10-yard line. Yeah, I've got to figure you run it again here. They're back to that double wing set. They've run jet, keep, and dive.
Russo moves DJ Clark in motion. He's going to carry it himself up the gut, churning forward still, and taken down just shy of the goal line.
What a lead block by 34. We watch him pull through and lead that up, and nobody there in Vineland easily converts.
Number 34, the man with no name. Doing a phenomenal job tonight. We've called his number a few times in all 3 phases. So 1st and goal here for Vineland as Russo trots over to the sideline to get this play call here. Inching closer to under 4 minutes to go here in regulation.
See, they got to get this off in the next few seconds here.
Russo going to carry himself up the gut. He's taken down. Great stop there by the Pioneers.
Well, it was a great play, but it's also the tackle that's been out on this whole drive. Getting some air as the team moves down, and then you're going to belly crawl on top of the quarterback and celebrate when you're hanging out your underclassmen out there when you're not there. They've not had 75 and 65 in there together on this drive. Forgot my glasses. That's why I'm using numbers a little bit more. So even with that light on, I have my sunglasses that are prescription, but I can't see with them at this time.
65 Nicholas Oliveri, 75 Matthew Chinchillo. High snap there, but Russo taken down just shy of the goal line once again.
So more time comes off. We're under 3 minutes to go. So 3rd and goal from the 3.
And you have to assume if Vineland gets this ball into the end zone one way or another, whether it's Russo carrying it in, DJ, or Charles Clark, that's going to be, the one that does it here for Vineland.
Then we're going to onside kick.
Give them a taste of their own medicine,
Here you
Rich.
go.
Under 2.5 to go here in the 4th quarter. Vineland leading 27-14 and right on the doorstep of another score as Russo lines up in shotgun. Let's see if they can punch it in here. DJ Clark in motion. Russo hands it off to Clark, who punches it forward.
Boy, he's... Oh, we got a signal from this side, touchdown.
And we've got a touchdown. Get your hammers out, everybody, because that is the nail in the coffin. As Vineland takes a commanding 33-14 lead with 2:03 remaining in regulation.
Well, this packed house is still packed but quiet, and they're just waiting for something, and there's been nothing for them this second half. I don't believe they have a first down this second half. Vineland's moved up and down the field and scored twice.
Colin Greif in here for the extra point attempt. Ball spotted, kick is up, and it is good. So with 2:03 remaining here in regulation, it's 34-14 in favor of Vineland, the most points they've scored in a game so far this season through 3 games. And if you're Coach Russo and this coaching staff, you got to feel great about how this team has responded to some adversity and how they've been able to keep their composure and go out and win a football game.
Yeah, and the execution's been good. As I was saying before, everything's gotten better, but now the offense is starting to feel like they're a weapon, and they are. And the way the passing game was so effective early in this one, really just looks good moving forward.
34 points combined in Vineland's first 2 games for this team. 34 points total tonight here against Clearview. And again, 2 straight weeks, a defensive touchdown for Coach Hendricks. So he's got to be thrilled about the way that, the defense has also been able to contribute to putting points on the board.
And has to be pleased with the second half performance. So Greif's been hitting them back to around the 20 to 15 one time.
Seems like he's almost been purposefully angling his kicks to somebody that he knows won't be a big return but will allow a return. As he's going to boom this one deep down the field. And it will be returned from about the 10-yard line for the Pioneers as they make their way up past the 30 and just shy of the 35. That's number 6, Jake Vetzman, the fullback.
Clark almost gets him right after he caught it, but then turns around and comes back and makes the tackle. And that one went inside the 10. You mentioned Robert Kling before. We used to get some touchbacks with Kling. I'm sure Greif's heading in that direction. And that's a heck of a weapon when we see most drives start at the 35 to 40-yard line instead of starting way back in your own end.
Dell takes the snap. He's looking to pass here. He's scrambling, feeling some pressure, and he's taken down from behind by Manny DeVellis.
And a good job by Powell not coming up and delivering a questionable shot there, and just sees he's going down and saves it for another play.
Jordan Bennett kind of holding his lower back there. Hopefully everything's all right there.
That's what I do, but I'm over 50 now.
Dell takes the snap, quick pass, fires, it's complete, and a big hit there by Ryant Maven on Billy Newman, who's shaken up on that tackle.
Yeah, we've not heard a lot from Newman today, but coming into this, he was their leading receiver.
Yeah, most of this game for Clearview, they were keeping the ball on the ground, rotating in 4 running backs, as well as allowing Dell to kind of carry the ball himself. So they never really got their passing offense going.
Well, that's just it. I mean, they got gun shy after the first one. A couple more were floated out there, and it's kind of like if this was the beginning of the second half, it would be a very, very long half for them because they're forced to do something that they've not done well. And on the other hand, I mean, even if you're not throwing it well, we've not had a breakdown in coverage. Watching the Atlantic City game, there's 2 players wide open down the field and 3 guys standing near each other 20 yards away, you know, for Clearview, and they've had some breakdowns.
So hopefully Billy Newman's okay. And as this game is winding down, we still have more Vineland players, alumni, playing this weekend. Best of luck to Tyrene Powell's. Rutgers going for win number 2 this weekend, and Isaiah Pacheco making his NFL debut with the Kansas City Chiefs as they head out to Arizona. So best of luck to Pop and Kansas City. Also a big special thank you to tonight's crew, Gia Missouri and Doug Diola. And be sure to subscribe to the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel to watch all of the great events, sports, and much more happening throughout the school year.
It's that paper shuffling time.
So Newman up on 2 feet. That's a great sign there. Hopefully everything's okay. Maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Well, coming into this, I expected Newman to be really involved. I think it was something like 9 catches for 85 yards coming in.
You can insert that famous handshake meme. Rich, Jerry Seinfeld, Newman.
Newman. I thought of that today because, you know, we have ours and they have theirs and they're spelled different. So you got to change the emphasis. This one could be Willie Newman.
As Dell in shotgun takes the snap, he's looking to pass, facing tons of pressure from Tayshaun Newman, who allows Manny DeVellis and Derek Akami to make the sack. Big time hits there from DeVellis and Akami, leaders on that defensive line as we are under a minute to play here at Clearview. Great performance by this Vineland football team once again.
Clearview's going to kick it away with 45 seconds to go.
Ball snapped. Kick is away. Another good punt there by Clearview as Xavion Diaz will run this one back. He's got space.
He may.
He's going to take it up to the past midfield. He's cutting around again. Xavion Diaz to the 45, 40, 35, and just shy of the 30-yard line, but we do have a flag come in, and we have a Clearview player down as well. Diaz is getting more and more comfortable on that punt return.
Well, missed a hit on that one, but probably a blindside hit. And boy, that used to be how Coach Parentosi's team would return kicks. We'd set up a wall, people would be running, not looking where they're going, and we'd pick them off one at a time. But when he changed field, it just set up those blocks. So it's almost like you got to have your head on a swivel. Lindros going over the blue line with his head down, and his career pretty much being done after that. You know, so it's important that you're looking, but when it's time to make a block, if he's not looking, does he get to run by you? You know, but as you mentioned, getting more comfortable returning that, and that's going to be such a bonus moving forward.
That's Anthony Izzo down on the field for Clearview.
He's sitting up getting his helmet. Looks like he's going to be all right. So 18 seconds to go. This could be the last one. Look for Russo to take a knee.
Something we didn't have all last season, Rich. Vineland is on a winning streak.
And getting better every week. Victory formation.
Nothing better as Russo takes a snap, takes the knee. We are now under 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there is the buzzer. Vineland gets the big 34-14 victory here against Clearview. And like you mentioned in our pregame discussions, Rich, this field has done well for Vineland's offense. They put up the most points they have all season, and combined for the amount of points that they scored in their first 2 games this season, as they are now 2-1 in 2022. Clearview drops to 0-3, and Vineland next week will be at home awaiting the Kingsway Dragons.
Yeah, the competition keeps getting tougher as we move forward, but Vineland's gotten so much better with each passing week, and as this team progresses, they may have a different story to tell than what you think in the first week. Boy, the offense just really not clicking, special teams problems. Defense looked good, though, but now the offense and defense both make people worry what's coming next. I thought Russo threw the ball extremely well tonight. I thought the line had their best performance of the year. And, as a coach, you'll point out on every play what was wrong, but we're getting a lot of things right, and that line really stepped up to the challenge, providing all kinds of time. The ball got mixed around, many different people touching and running with it, keeping the defense on their toes. So just an outstanding job for Vineland.
And this team is playing loose. They're playing fun as they're celebrating down on the field now their second win of the season. I'm sure this week on the Dan Russo Show we'll have some more players like they joined us this week as Coach Russo picks out his MVPs of the game. So stay tuned for that as Vineland will host Kingsway next week. I believe a 6 o'clock start at Gatone Stadium, where you will hear myself and Rich Scarpa up in the booth. Going to be good to be home after a 2-game road trip. But the final here from Clearview High School, Vineland 34, Clearview 14. For my partner Rich Scarpa, I'm Kyle Bennett. Everybody enjoy your weekend and enjoy a Vineland 2-1 start.